Starface took one of the most embarrassing problems in skincare, pimples, and turned it into a fashion statement. They launched in 2019, and within just 3 years, they hit over $50 million in revenue selling pimple patches that look like yellow stars. But here's what most people miss. They didn't just create a product. They executed a very systemized playbook that manipulated psychology, social proof, and distribution timing to dominate an entire category. Today, we're going deep on the exact strategies Starface used, the product decisions, the launch tactics, the retention system, and the 4 specific e-com plays that you can steal for your own store. Hi, I'm Azra from ZipChat, and before we get into the video, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps support our channel and make sure that you don't miss our weekly brand breakdowns. Now, let's dive into Starface. Starface was founded in 2019 by Brian Bordenik and Julie Scotch. Brian had worked at Harry's, the DTC razor brand that sold to age well for $1.4 billion. He understood super well DTC economics and brand building. Julie was a beauty editor at Vogue and New York Magazine, and she had insider access to what beauty customers actually wanted versus what brands were giving them. Together, they identified a massive gap in the market, the problem they saw. The entire acne industry, worth over $10 billion globally, was built on shame and concealment. All acne-related products had the exact same messaging. Get rid of your acne, hide it, and almost like be embarrassed about it. Meanwhile, medical-grade stickers that you can put on your face, which are proven to actually heal your pimples, were super popular in Korea. But in the US, they were only sold in pharmacies, in flesh-toned colors, and in clinical packaging. Nobody was really making acne treatment feel good. The insight. Brian and Julie realized that Gen Z had a complete different relationship with authenticity than millennials. Gen Z doesn't want perfection. They want realness. They celebrate flaws. They reject Instagram airbrush culture. What if we made acne visible but in a way that feels empowering and not embarrassing? The answer? Bright yellow star-shaped acne patches that turns your pimples into a statement piece. The product decision. Pimple patches weren't new. They've been around for decades for wound care, and Korean beauty brands had been selling them since like early 2000s. But Starface made 3 critical product decisions. 1. Shape. Stars instead of circles. Instantly recognizable, ownable. 2. Color. Bright yellow instead of flesh-like tones. Visible, not hidden. 3. Thickness. Slightly thicker than competitors, so they stay longer and are easier to apply. These weren't some random aesthetic choices. They were strategic decisions that were designed to make the product shareable, memorable, and functionally better. The brand positioning and messaging. Most brands position themselves around solutions, such as clear skin in 3 days, banish breakouts, or like flawless complexion. Starface positioned themselves around acceptance. Proud to be here. This wasn't just a tagline. It was a philosophy that permeated everything. Their Instagram captions talked about normalizing acne. Their packaging had empowering messages. Their customer testimonials weren't about clear skin. They were about confidence. They reframed the entire category. Instead of selling a cure, they sold a celebration, the visual identity. Everything about Starface is designed to feel anti-clinical. Packaging looks like candy, not medicine. Product names are playful. Hydro Stars, Big Yellow, Space Wash. Color palette is bright yellow with pops of pink and blue. Illustrations are super cute and almost cartoonish. So by doing all this, they wanted to remove the shame and seriousness around acne treatment, the community angle. Starface created the Proud to be Here movement and encouraged customers to post their selfies with their stars on. This wasn't just marketing, this was actually a psychological play. By creating a community around visible acne treatment, they first normalized the product, because if you think about it, it's literally yellow stars in your face. Gained social proof, everyone is using this. Second, created free UGC, every selfie is an ad. And last but not least, they made customers feel like they're part of something bigger, belonging. The launch strategy, DTC first approach. Starface launched exclusively on their Shopify store in July of 2019. This gave them 3 main advantages. They first had full control over the brand experience. From their design to unboxing, everything was intentional. Then direct customer data. They own the email list, shopping behavior, and feedback loop. And of course, higher margins. No retailer taking a cut meant more profit to reinvest in growth. The pre-launch hype. Before they even launched, Starface built a wait list. They tease a product on Instagram with behind-the-scenes content, founder stories, and the product to be here messaging. So when they actually launched, they had thousands of people ready to buy. This created two things: immediate revenue, because they were not launching to crickets, and social proof. Sold out signals scarcity and desirability. The $15 price point. Starface launched their core product, a pack of 33 Hydra Stars, at $14.99, which, if you ask me, is insane to pay for just like pimple patches. But this price point was strategic. Low enough to be an impulse purchase, so no buyer's remorse. High enough to maintain margin. Cost of goods was around $3 to $4, positioned as premium compared to drugstore patches, which is typically around $8 to $10. They weren't competing on price. They were competing on brand. The influencer seeding strategy. Starface didn't pay mega influencers. Instead, they sent free products to thousands of micro influencers focused on beauty, influencer, and Gen Z lifestyle creators, and let the product speak for itself. No scripted content required. Because your product is so visual, it's literally a yellow star on your face, influencers naturally posted about it. And because the patches actually work, the endorsement felt genuine. This created a wave of organic content that costed a fraction of traditional influencer campaigns. The TikTok timing. Starface launched right as TikTok was exploding in the US. So they literally rode the way of get ready with me style skincare routines, acne positivity content, and before and after transformation videos. They didn't need to create all the content themselves. TikTok users naturally did it for them. By 2020, hashtag Starface had millions of views on TikTok, and the brand became the symbol of Gen Z skincare. First tip for store owners: design your product for virality. Most brands think of virality as a marketing problem. Starface understood it's a product design problem. Their yellow stars are first visually distinctive. You can't mistake them for anything else. They're photo friendly. They look good and eye-catching on selfies and videos. And they're conversation starting. People literally ask, what's that on your face? Every single product has viral potential if you design it intentionally. How to apply this? Ask yourself, is my product visually recognizable? If someone posts about it on Instagram, can people automatically tell what brand it is? Is my packaging shareable? Does the unboxing experience create a moment worth filming? And does my product have a built-in conversation starter? Is there something unique that makes people ask about it? So to give you a couple of examples, if you sell candles, design jars that look good on the shelf, not the generic white ones. If you sell supplements, create packaging that is aesthetically pleasing, not the boring typical brown bottles. If you sell apparel, add distinctive design elements that are instantly recognizable. Tactical play. Add a branded insert or sticker to every single order that customers will want to use or display. Starface, for example, includes cute stickers in every single order they send out. And customers put them on their laptops, their water bottles, or even like phone cases. That's free advertising. The product expansion strategy. Starting with one hero product. Starface didn't launch with a full skincare line. They launched with one product: the Hydra Stars. This is critical because by focusing on one single product, they created demand around a single thing, which also meant all marketing also pointed at one thing. They could sell out super fast and create FOMO. Simplify the buying decision. No paradox of choice. Once Hydra Stars became a cult product, they then expanded. The refill model, Big Yellow. In 2020, Starface launched Big Yellow, a $22 refillable compact that holds 32 Hydra Stars. This was a genius upsell. Customers who love the patches had a reason to buy a higher AOV product. The compact encouraged repeat purchases. You need refills. It felt premium and giftable, not just a consumable. Strategic line extensions. They then launched complementary products like Space Washer for $18, a gentle face cleanser, Moisture on Mars, $24. A lightweight moisturizer. EXO Eye Bag, $20. Under eye patches. Notice the pattern. Every product is priced between $15 to $25. Keeps AOV manageable but profitable. They're tied to the brand world. Space themes, playful words. They're all complementary to the hero product. You use them with Hydro Stars, not instead of it. And they're not trying to compete with like full skincare lines like The Ordinary. They're building a starter skincare routine specifically for their customers, Gen Z with occasional breakouts. Bundles and gift sets. Starface regularly creates bundles. And bundles do three things. They first increase average order value. They introduce customers to multiple products at once and make gifting easy, especially during holidays. Second takeaway for store owners. Build a product ladder to maximize LTV. Starface doesn't just sell one product. They've built a product ladder that moves customers from low commitment to high value. Here's their ladder. Entry point, $15 with Hydro Stars. Impulse purchase. Upsell, $22 big yellow refillable case. Commitment device. Cross sells, between $18 to $24 skincare products. Expanding basket. And bundles, $40 to $60 gift sets. Highest AOV. This systematically increases customer lifetime value without needing to constantly acquire new customers. How to apply this? Map out your product ladder. Tier 1. Entry product. Low risk impulse purchase. Introduces customers to your brand. Examples would be single item, travel size, starter pack. Commitment product. Shows customers engaged, often a better version of tier 1. Something like a full-size product, a bundle, or a subscription. Tier 3. Premium/complete. For your best customers. Complete solution or luxury version. Something like bundles, gift sets, or premium line. Tactical play. After someone buys tier 1, immediately offer tier 2 at a discount. Starface does the exact same thing with complete your routine upsells. If someone bought the entry product, send a sequence introducing them to the second tier. Something like love your Hydro Stars, meet Big Yellow. The goal is to move the customer up the ladder over time, not just on first purchase. The retention engine. Starface doesn't just acquire customers. They've built systems that keeps them coming back. They use automated emails to drive replenishment. Since Hydro Stars are consumable, customers get reminder emails when they're likely running low. This creates passive revenue without spending on new customer acquisition. They also offer subscriptions at 15% off, which locks in recurring revenue and increases lifetime value. Community as marketing. Starface created the proud to be here hashtag and constantly repost customer selfies. They feature real people on their Instagram. They reply to DMs and comments, building genuine relationships. This turns customers into advocates. When people feel seen by a brand, they tell their friends about it. They also run a give $10, get $10 referral program, creating a viral loop where happy customers bring in new customers. The result? Word of mouth became a scalable acquisition channel. Third tip for store owners. Build systems that turn customers into repeat buyers and advocates. Starface doesn't rely on paid ads to grow. They build retention and referral systems that turn one-time buyers into repeat customers and brand advocates. How to apply this? If your product runs out, set up email reminders at 30, 45, and 60 days post-purchase. Make reordering one-click easy and offer a small discount for immediate action. Launch a subscription program. Offer 10 to 20% off for auto delivery. Make it flexible. Pause, skip, cancel anytime. Subscription customers have 2 to 3 times higher LTV than one-time buyers. The results and key lessons. Here are the numbers. Launched in 2019, hit over 50 million in revenue by 2022, now sold in more than 2,000 retail locations, millions of social media impressions, built primarily through organic growth and word of mouth. Why Starface won? They didn't compete on product, they competed on brand. Pimple patches existed. They made them feel different. They designed for virality. The yellow stars are inherently shareable. They built a product ladder from $15 entry products to $60 bundles. They maximize LTV. They build retention systems. flow, subscriptions, and community turned one-time buyers into repeat customers. What you should steal. Differentiate through brand positioning, not just features. Design your product and packaging to be inherently shareable. Build a product ladder that increases customer value over time. Use both DTC and retail strategically. Create a system that drives repeat purchases and referrals. Starface didn't win because they had the best product or the biggest budget. They won because they understood their customers, built a brand that resonated, and executed smart e-commerce fundamentals better than anybody else in their category. If you're an e-commerce owner serious about scaling, hit subscribe. Every week, we break down a brand like this so you can steal their playbook and apply it to your own Shopify store. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.